Hey ladies, welcome back. It's TamikiaTT. If there are any gents watching, welcome to you as well. I do want to warn you, this is a TMI type of video. We are going to be talking about periods and flow and a product that you can use to help with that. So if you're not interested in that, I suggest you hit stop, choose another video to watch, okay? All right, so to begin, this is a sponsored video. It is sponsored by a company called Lilova. So Lilova sent me a nice product. It's a period proof product we're going to be talking about today. And if you're interested in it, there is a link in the description that I would like you to use to go and check out the product. Only if you're interested, okay? All right, so even though this is a sponsored video, they sent me the product to try. You will have my honest opinion about the product. And, but there's a few things that I want to get out of the way first. So, what is period proof underwear? So, we've seen these products out here. Lilova is one of them. I am being specific to Lilova. So, I have a few notes just to make sure I don't mess this up. So if I look off, it's because I'm referring to my notes. So it's not like rehearsed or anything like that. The opinion part of this video is not rehearsed at all. Okay. So just so you have an idea, Lilova offers 6 different styles of underwear. They offer a thong that holds about half a tampon worth of fluid. They have 2 bikinis, a hipster, a hip hugger, and a high waist, one high waist style that holds 2 tampons worth. We interrupt this program to bring to you a very important update. The high-waisted underwear actually holds approximately 2.5 tampons worth of fluid, and there are 2 additional types of underwear. One is a cotton brief that holds approximately 4 tampons worth of fluid. The other is a boy short, which holds approximately 5 tampons worth of fluid. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Now, as far as the tampons, I think I'm going to have to go with regular tampons worth because every tampon is different. It's not specific to, say, Tampax, Kotex, OB, whatever the tampon versions are out there. So, you know your flow. You've had it for a while. So if 2 regular tampons doesn't sound like a whole lot to you, then you know how this product will work for you. I will say it does say on the website that if you have a heavy flow, that this should be used as a backup on your heaviest days, and then on your lighter days, then you can use it. Okay, how does it work? So there are 4 layers into the underwear. So I have a pair right here. Okay, there are 4 layers. So you can see super thin, right? It's not thick. It's not going to fit like a diaper or anything like that. So there are 4 layers. So it's about as thin as regular underwear. The first layer is a moisture wicking cotton. Okay. These are used, but they're washed, so they're clean. Don't worry. So there's a moisture wicking cotton for softness and breathability. The second layer is an antimicrobial lining that will fight bacteria and odors. The third layer is a super absorbent fabric that again holds the absorbency. So, and then the fourth layer is the leak resistant nylon outer layer. Okay. To keep everything all in. Okay. All right. So the recommendation is to try Lilova at home first, right? But that's with every new thing that you try with your period. You want to try it at home first, so you can kind of see how your flow works with it, when you might need to change it, take it off, or what have you. Then try to venture out. So I will say You know, I used to be a tampon girl. I'm not a tampon girl anymore. I use a menstrual cup now. So that was something I needed to try at home before I just started wearing it out in public. It's a transition. So something like this is also a transition. So try it at home first. See how you like it, get used to it, and then maybe start venturing out to wear it. All right, now, how do you care for something like this? And this is very important to my review, but this is all on the website, on the informational website. So the first thing is when you take it off, meaning it's full or you think it's full and you're about to leak or whatever the case may be, you have to rinse it first. Don't soak it because that affects the fabric. Don't So you want to rinse it until it rinses clear. So that's step one. Step two is you want to machine wash it. So you can machine wash it right away after you've rinsed it, or you can wait and machine wash it later. You can wash it with your clothes by itself. That's completely up to you. No fabric softener. And yes, cold cycle with no fabric softener. And then hang dry. Okay. So, no dryer for this because again, that affects the fabric. All right, so it does also last a long time. You can get a good, I believe they say 3 years use out of it. Store and reuse. Oh, it just says many years. It doesn't say 3 years. It says many years if you follow the 3 rules. Rinse after, machine wash, cold, no fabric softener, and hang dry. Okay, just remember if you have a heavy flow, again, 2 tampons worth, this is guaranteed to hold. So you know what your flow is. Let's take it as 2 regular tampons, and take it as that. All right. Another reason to use something other than a pad or a tampon is that, you know, in the USA alone, over 20 billion used menstrual products end up in our landfills. Okay, every year. Okay, a regular tampon or pad takes 500 to 800 years to decompose, and you save money. So on average, a woman spends nearly $270 a year on period products. Right, the same amount is about 10 pairs of the Lilova products. Okay, so you can have one for every day of your period and use them over the course of a year, right? Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's talk about my review. Okay, now, first things first, I'm a plus size girl, okay? There are many period products out there on the market. I can't say this is the only one that I have tried, but as a plus size girl, it's important that there be plus sizes available to me. So I'm going to say this goes all the way up to a 3X. Not every style is available in the 3X. At the time that I was approached to try out this product, I was still pregnant, and initially it was for me to try out during my postpartum bleeding. Unfortunately, it was hard to size myself because, well, obviously my waist is bigger due to being pregnant. Also, I was concerned about my C-section scar. I wasn't sure if I was going to have an up-down C-section scar, vertical, instead of a transverse horizontal C-section scar. Turned out I had an up-down. Just because I wasn't sure, I was looking into the high-waisted so that I could make sure the underwear was above the surgical cut. Unfortunately, the high-waisted did not go up to the size that was best fit for me based on the chart, which is a 3X. We'll get into that. I'm a big booty girl, so it was a 3X, and the high-waisted did not come in 3X, so I went with the hipster, okay? And this is called the Mia hipster, okay? Oop, and here it is. Okay, this is size 3X. Okay, so I'm going to put the size chart here so you can kind of see what that looks like. So sizes range from extra small to 3X depending on the style. Okay. All right, and to determine your size, you need hip and waist measurements, and they do have US jean sizes as well. Now, I personally am an 18 in jeans, okay? But the jeans are a little stretched. I could go from like maybe an 18 to 20. Again, we're talking about post-pregnancy that I was intending this for. I didn't want it to be incredibly tight. So based on my US jean size of an 18 to 20, I would officially be a 2X, right? I went with a 3X, and while this fit, it still didn't really fit, okay? Because if we look at the chart, actually, I have the chart down here. So if we look at the chart here, I'm supposed to be a 2X by my jean size, but I'm a big booty girl. So that's why my jean size is what it is. But by my hip range and my waist, I'm really supposed to be a 3X if we go by hips and waist. So I went with the 3X. All right. Because this was not high-waisted, I have a belly, extra belly fat. It did roll down up under my belly, which was not fun considering my C-section scar was a vertical one. But again, I was interested in high waist because of that. If I did not have a vertical surgery scar, this probably would have been fine. The other thing is, as a big booty girl in a 3X, this pulled a bit. I could get it on comfortably. I didn't have to work hard to get it on, but it did feel a little small for me. I have big thighs. I have a big booty, and sometimes jeans and certain things are not made when your backside is an extra rotund. So it didn't fit that great on me. I'm just going to put it that way. If only they made clothes for big booty girls, and in general, clothes are not made for big booty girls. This is just my opinion. But at least I could get in them. And while I wore it, it was comfortable. But there were certain things that made it a little uncomfortable, being though I was postpartum. I'll just put it that way. Okay. So let's just get that out of the way. I think there's a little bit more to be desired size-wise. I don't think a 2X would have really fit me well. It would have been too tight. And I don't know how well tight goes with a period-proof underwear, especially if you're sitting all day. Just saying. All right, so I did try it out. I tried it out on the first day of my cycle. I did understand that it was I tried it on the first day of my first cycle. I understood that it was a 2 tampon maximum, but I didn't know if I didn't have any idea of whether that's a super tampon or a regular tampon. So I just figured I'd try it on my heaviest day to give an idea of that. On my heaviest day, I wore it for maybe, it was the first day of my cycle. Again, this is my first postpartum menstrual cycle. So, which my period returned exactly at 11 weeks postpartum. So it was extremely heavy, heavier than I was used to as I was TTCing, because my cycles did become lighter and shorter over time while I was TTCing. I'd like to attribute acupuncture to that, but I wasn't sure what my cycles would be like postpartum. This was the first one. It was a great opportunity to try it out, so I did. I will say I probably had the underwear on somewhere. I didn't really count. I was kind of busy in and out of phone calls and things like that. But I want to say I had them on for at least 4 hours. And in the 4 hours, I leaked. So I got up from my couch and I had leaked. Was it a super huge leak? No. But a leak as it is, I left a stain on my couch. Not a stain, but I left a spot on my couch that I had to clean up. And as you can see, my couch is light colored. Okay. Um, I know how to take care of the stains. So I'm not worried about that, as well as the couch is stain treated. So that helps. But wasn't really happy about that. One thing good I would say is I did not feel that I was leaking. So I did not feel wet or soaked, which is a good thing about the product. However, a dangerous thing because I could be sitting there leaking and not knowing that I'm leaking all over the place. So if you have a job like me where you're sitting all day, you're pressing on the fabric. I mean, the fabric has a little bit of thickness to it. It's super thin, but it does have some thickness to it. And like any other fabric, when you are sitting, you're basically pressing on the fabric, which means you're spreading the moisture out. And at some point, that moisture has to go somewhere. And as you can see, it's like regular underwear. So it's only going to go so far, and eventually you leak if it is too full in that area. So having a sit down job all day and not really getting up to move, like I'm one person where I'll sit and I won't move for hours on end unless I feel a need to move. Because I was postpartum, fortunately, I was 11 weeks, so I could use something else, like my menstrual cup. I really wanted to give this a go, and so that was that. Now, I have a heavy flow, so 2 regular tampons last me a little less than 4 hours, okay? So I want to say on my heaviest day, because I've had a few cycles since I've tried this out. I just had my 3rd postpartum cycle. A Super Plus tampon at that point in time probably was lasting me about 2 hours. So 4 hours, if it was even 4 hours, was stretching it in the underwear. Given that in my heavy flow, if I were in an office at work, I could not use this alone. I would have to use it as a backup to the menstrual cup in order to get through the day in them. But the warning is there on the site. If you have a heavier flow, use it as a backup on the heavy days, and then on the lighter days, then you don't have to. So I would say definitely would have to use it as a backup. But even on my heavy days, once the menstrual cup, and menstrual cups do leak, I don't care what they say, they never leak, they do leak if you have a heavy flow. When a menstrual cup leaks, it leaks. So I'm not even sure this would be safe in the office to use for me in my heavy flow. Now, the other thing is when you take it off, you have to rinse it out right away. Can you imagine rinsing these out in the middle of a work day at the office? No bueno. So, for sure, you want to make sure if you're going to wear something like this to work, you can get through the day. I don't want to be in anybody's office bathroom rinsing out underwear in the sink while people are coming in and out. I'm not trying to do that. Then you got to carry it around wet. It does not dry quickly. So you got to wring it out. Then you got to carry it around wet and then take it home. Is just too much. So for me, on a heavy day, this is like weekend wear. I do work from home, so I could use this as a backup. But again, I only have one. So once you use the one, you wring it out. Then you have to put it through the washer, and then it has to air dry. And I mean, takes a good while for it to air dry, a good day. It's not like I would be able to put it right back on. So you would need definitely more than one. So there's that. One thing I would say really good about this is where the coverage is in the underwear. So I'm going to turn it inside out. And so you'll see in the front, the fabric sort of changes. So like the front panel here, and then you have like the crotch area here where it has the protection. But then you'll also notice the back of the underwear is completely protected. So there's sort of this middle area here, which has the thicker material, and that goes all the way up the back. And then the material carries, all the inside material isn't on these sides, but that sort of moisture material kind of carries back here in these back panels. So I think that's really good for us big booty girls because we know things travel up. You know, when you have your baby and they have that explosive right up their back, well, period fluids do the same thing. So the fact that the protection material carries all the way up, very good thing. So first thing is fit. Second thing is flow. And as far as protection, this will carry you all the way up your back. Okay. So if you like wings, or you have a larger booty, and you have to use a longer pad or something like this, this will carry as well. But again, like I said, if you're sitting all day, you're putting pressure on this. So I would go with the 2 regular tampons. So for somebody like me on my heaviest days, 2 regular tampons will last me about 2 hours, and then I got to take this off. For that matter, this doesn't help me at all on the heaviest days. Definitely as a backup measure. And then, I would, have to use my cup. On my heaviest day right now, I could probably get 2.5 hours out of the cup before it starts leaking. And then I'll have to go, like if I were wearing this only and not like a pad, I would have to go straight to the bathroom, get that taken care of, and then kind of go back. I will say it's an adjustment to sort of go to the bathroom knowing that you've been bleeding in the underwear and put it back on. It doesn't feel cold like a semi-used pad would feel. So, and like I said, it's moisture wicking, so you don't it doesn't feel cold, it doesn't feel wet, you don't feel wet at all. That's an entirely great thing about this. But I think in your mind, it's like, I know I'm pulling this underwear back up, I've bled in it, and I'm pulling it back up on my body. So there's this sort of mental thing you have to get used to. But I think that's just par for the course for this type of period protection. So if you can get past fit, you can get past flow, and then you can get past the mental aspect of pulling this underwear back up after it's been used partially, and maybe wearing it for at least 8 to 9 hours in the day, depending on how long you spend at work, how long it takes you to get there, and how long it takes to get back. Then perhaps this is a great product for you. I mean, again, I work from home, so the amount of time that I would wear this would vary. I would just have to be mindful that this is what I'm wearing, whether it be backup or the actual protection, and to get up and move a little bit more often. Everyone's flow is different. The flow changes every month. So, this is definitely something you want to set your watch on. Like, okay, how long have I been wearing this? It's kind of sort of back to checking yourself. Until you get the hang of it. But other than that, I think this is a great product if you can get past that. Again, buying pads are expensive. There are lots of things out there about what kinds of things menstrual pads are made out of. And some of the menstrual pads are made from like recycled trash. It's been bleached, they have chemicals in it, and things like that. This is a more natural way to manage your cycle. It's reusable. So you're doing something great for the environment as well if you go this route. But, again, fit, flow, mental. um, if you can get past all of that, this is a great product. So it's well done, you know. It comes in, I'm noticing some of the styles come in two colors. So you have black and you have beige. So if you want it to be a little bit more closer to your skin color and what have you, black, of course, makes it a little bit more difficult to see how used the product is. So that can be a little off-putting, not knowing exactly how soaked the product is. So that's also something to get used to. But I don't know how traumatizing it would be to be in the beige and to actually see everything. It might make you want to change it sooner than you really need to. Right. So I will say that it's a little bit more work than, say, simply just taking a pad off, rolling it up, putting it in the trash. So there's a little bit more work involved here. Can't be squeamish about, rinsing it out and all of that great stuff. So, there's that aspect of it too. That might be a little too crunchy for some people. But I mean, think about it. Back in the day, folks, you didn't use the cotton disposable pads. They actually used something similar to the cloth diapers that we use on babies. And they were rinsed off and washed and hung dried and used again. So we're sort of coming full circle in regards to that, So one more thing I would like to add about the product that I like is the cuteness of it. You see this cute little lace detail. If you check out the website using the link in the description, you'll see that there are 6 different styles, and they're actually really cute. It's not like boring underwear that you have to be embarrassed to wear, right? We bring out the granny panties for periods, because we tend, sometimes we have leaks and sometimes we have mistakes, and these things have to be cleaned up, and we don't want our cute underwear getting messed up with period fluids, right? So this is a nice change, right? To wear something during the period that's actually pretty cute, and I'm, not sort of embarrassed, I guess. By the time you're wearing granny drawers around your man, I haven't had a man in a long time, but that's neither here nor there. By the time you're done wearing granny panties around your man while the period is on, it's like he knows your period is on because the granny panties are out, right? When the ugly panties are out, he knows your period is on. But these are cute, you know what I mean? They're black. They come in the 2 different, sort of, I don't want to say dull colors. These are pretty basic neutrals, but they're frilly, they're cute. There's even a bikini that has like strings on the side. Really, really cute underwear. So that's one of the pluses. That it's not ugly granny panty underwear, right? So that's a reason to get them as well. Again, it's different. Just like going from, say, tampons to a menstrual cup was different for me. This was very different. I think it's something to get used to. So if it's something you want to try to move forward to, buy a pair, try it out. It's inexpensive to buy a pair. I was interested in menstrual cups. I bought one. I want to say one menstrual cup was probably about the same price as one pair of these panties. Yep, about the same price. Because I'm looking at the website right now, and it says the Mia Hipster is about $29, right? A menstrual cup that I've tried costs about $30 as well. So it's $30 to try something new that's reusable, that could potentially save you money over time. And it's great for the environment. And if you're using tampons and things like that, could also be great for your plumbing. Okay. Um, so I think it's certainly worth a try. Certainly worth a try. I will continue to give this a try, but I mean, I like the idea of it. I'll admit that when I first heard of period proof underwear, I was like, oh no. Right? But I mean, I'm a little bit more open now. Maybe I'm becoming crunchy. I don't know. But I'm a little bit more open now, especially now that I use a menstrual cup. I do feel like I feel better using a menstrual cup than I do using tampons, right? So using the menstrual cup was a step forward towards something more environmentally friendly. It took some adjusting to get used to, but I now love it. Okay. When I say I feel better, not wearing a tampon is I feel better for the environment, but I also feel better health wise, right? I actually, what made me look into the menstrual cup is that I actually started to feel like I was becoming allergic to wearing a tampon. I mean, a tampon is really just cotton, but it's bleached, and probably has some other chemicals and how they make it or whatever. And one of the things that I started to notice is when my tampon got full, because like I said, heavy flow, I'm using Super Plus or Ultra Plus. Pardon me. I would start to sneeze, almost as if I was allergic to a full tampon. That's how I knew my tampon was close to being full and about to leak. I would actually have sneezing fits. So I never had an experience with like toxic shock syndrome, but having the sneezing, I think, is kind of like the beginning of something, right? I moved away from the tampons, got with the menstrual cup, and I didn't have the sneezing problem anymore. So that's also a reason to sort of go away from these products that are sort of unnaturally in your body and move to something a little more healthier for your body as well as the environment. So that's a plus for this kind of period protection as well. So I think something like this takes some adjusting to get used to, and I may learn to love it. I may learn to love it, and who knows? A few more cycles as I get used to it, I may decide to buy more so that I can use it instead of using a pad as my backup mechanism with the cup. So I just, need to get used to it, start actually doing some timings and all of that. But, I know when my cycle is the heaviest and when I should be wearing a cup. And I know about how long I can wear a cup before I start leaking. So this is something I can catch before it starts leaking and then not have to worry about, the underwear and not wear a pad. So this is inexpensive. Over time, it pays for itself over time. So it comes in this lovely packaging, right? This is the back of the packaging. And then there's a window here where you can see the underwear when it comes. So the packaging is lovely, very simple and small. And again, the 3X size came in this bag, right? So again, if you've watched to the end, I've given my honest opinion about what I think is good and what I think could use a little work, as well as especially for us plus size girls. But again, a lot of clothes out here aren't really made for us. I am super glad that there was something that I could get into, but me being a size 18-20 in jeans, still requiring a 3X because I have a larger backside, would kind of, maybe make this not so great for women who are bigger than me. So it would be nice to see a brand that carried something for women larger than myself. So that would be great too. So they can also be comfortable or at least have something great that they can sleep in. So even if, you don't wear it to work, you could maybe wear this to sleep if you're worried about your sheets and things like that, because of the protection going all the way up your back. If you're having trouble finding a menstrual pad that will cover you overnight, perhaps using something like a tampon or menstrual cup, and then using this as a backup on your heavy days overnight, that might be a good deal, right? Because we all know pads are made for women who are size 6, right? I'm far from a size 6, baby. Far from a size 6. So I'm very glad to see that this covered at least up to size 3X. The 3X to me may be a little questionable. But again, I do have a larger backside. So perhaps the 3X was more appropriate for me. But give it a try. I have a link in the description if you want to try it, because you watched my review video of the Lilova period protection underwear. Do use the link in the description, or I should say period proof underwear. Let's get it right. Lilova period proof underwear. Okay, so let me know. I mean, if you have any specific questions that maybe I didn't address in the video, let's have a conversation about it in the comments. All right. So thank you for watching. Thank you for allowing me to give you this video. It's a little TMI for those who don't have periods, but this is a serious thing for us women. So I had the opportunity to try out the product to be a little bit more environmentally safe with my period products, and I think this is a great one. It's just fit, flow, mental. We just have to get past all of that, and this is great, right? All right, so don't forget Lilova period proof underwear. Use the link in the description. Sticky baby dust to all those TTC. Bye.